As the saying goes, go woke, go broke. Sports Illustrated, once a staple in every American man cave, is in deep, deep trouble. Let's talk about that, shall we? Hello, everyone. It's Tim from SpaceNetTV. Today, we're talking about a couple of big fish in the entertainment sea, Sports Illustrated and the Walt Disney Company. How are these two related? Hang with me for a minute and you'll see. Let's start with Sports Illustrated. Once the Michael Jordan of sports magazines, now it's more like, well, let's just say it's trying out to be a different kind of sport entirely. SI has been going through a tumultuous past several months already due to the magazines being exposed for using AI to write its articles. This week, Sports Illustrated laid off, well, everyone. It was announced that the magazine's employees were notified that the Arena Group, publisher of Sports Illustrated, is planning to lay off a significant number, possibly all, of its employees. The stunning mass layoffs cast serious doubt as to the future of the 70-year-old publication. Sports Illustrated has been a part of American culture since 1954, not to mention the Sports Illustrated edition being a rite of passage for American boys forever. After the layoffs were announced, Tim Pool wrote on Twitter, "They put a dude with tits on the cover, so I'm not surprised." In 2019, when ABG, the Authentic Brands Group, acquired the license to publish Sports Illustrated, it seemed that at the time like they had immediately set out to destroy the brand. Since its inception, SI has been mixing things up, or maybe just getting a little mixed up. We've gone from traditional models to a more inclusive lineup, featuring trans models, body-positive models, age-affirming models. It's a veritable cornucopia of progressiveness that appeals to, well, it doesn't appeal to anyone, really. I think they went in search of that elusive modern audience that doesn't seem to exist outside of Twitter. The Arena Group told the entire staff their jobs were being eliminated after suspending the SI brand license to the Authentic Brands Group due to a missed quarterly payment of about $3.75 million. Honestly, you couldn't miss this coming any more than you could miss the latest lineup of Victoria's Secret's angels. They're going to need some bigger wings. It's sad that such an American institution turned into a mental institution inside of 4 years. SI's brand destruction should be required study in any business college. Management brought in everything associated with chasing the modern audience. Clickbait articles, diversity, equity, inclusion, fan blaming, whatever they could think of course, except covering sports and giving their audiences what it wanted without the woke. And here's the person most responsible for SI's pivot to pronouns. This is MJ Day. She is the editor-in-chief of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit franchise. MJ has been with the brand since 1999. She's led the effort to evolve the swimsuit issue concept to, of course, reflect the times. Under her helm, the iconic issue has broken many barriers. Most that didn't really need to be broken, and most that just broke people's hearts. So then we went from Christy Brinkley, Brooklyn Decker, and Heidi Klum to just pure gloom and doom. Body-positive models, octogenarian models, and chicks with dicks, all in a pursuit to reflect the times and chase the modern audience. The sports coverage wasn't any better, with articles more concerned with race, gender, and political ideology than runs, goals, and touchdowns. And in what is easily the most baffling move from MJ was her new advertising mandate called Pay with Change. Quote, "Our magazine's annual edition will now only feature brands that are helping drive gender equality forward." What this means is that if you wanted to advertise in the swimsuit issue, you had to conform to her ideology. They would bar advertisers who didn't comply. MJ made the call to action for the entire publishing industry to follow suit. I'm pretty sure they're not going to, given what's happened to Sports Illustrated as a result. I'm sure MJ remains completely baffled to this day why readership declined so drastically and the brand has been shut down. Authentic Brands Group says they plan to continue the magazine. I'm not sure how or even why they'd bother. Honestly, I think we have to bid a fond farewell to this iconic publication, at least with its current management team and ownership. Another victim of the culture war. Another company who failed to realize that modern audiences really do not exist outside of social media. It's just an illusion created by a bunch of whiny, leftists on social media, and the political powers that use them as useful idiots. They are not your customers. They were never going to be your customers. They have no interest in your products. Their only interest is to spread their ideology and influence. Your customers, those who actually spent their hard-earned dollars on your magazine, abandon you just as you abandoned them. So this brings us around then to how Disney ties in with the demise of Sports Illustrated. While Sports Illustrated has been busy digging its own grave for the past 5 years, Disney has been busy shoveling too. They just needed a much bigger hole to bury themselves in. Disney is on the exact same glide path that Sports Illustrated rode right down to the ground. How did Disney get here? Let's look at their actions for the better part of the last decade. Representation above all else, no matter how ridiculous it is? Check.
Weird. Hold up. Wait a minute. Something ain't right.
Diversity, equity, and inclusion over quality products? Check. Injecting politics into everything they do? Check. Blaming the customer for their failures? Check. Attacking the customers as racist, misogynist, bigots, and homophobics? Check, check, and check. The same studio that brought us Singing Lions and Ice Queens are now waving their magic wand of inclusivity in our faces. From unnecessarily diverse cast, gender swaps, race swaps, to alphabet characters part of the not-so-secret queer agenda, to strap-on jokes aimed at teenagers. It's like a rainbow exploded over the Magic Kingdom and the woke just keeps raining down. Sadly, fans are not buying tickets to this new show. During the same 5-year period, Disney has vastly underperformed, losing billions, many billions, on one failed endeavor after another, one flop at the box office after another. Their stock is nearly half what it was at its high point during the same period. They have nothing in the pipeline but more of the same to double down on everything that has plagued them, to continue to alienate their core audience, families, in favor of pandering to a tiny majority of the country. Movies, like publications, are about market share. Ignoring your biggest customers to focus on the politics of a fringe few nut jobs is a recipe for bankruptcy. Disney may be past the point to be able to stop this from happening. They have broken their trust and their brand with families who no longer trust them. They have severed that generational bond with their core audience, that bond that had parents taking their children to Disney movies, who then in turn took their children to Disney movies, who went to the parks and took their children to the parks, and they will take their children to the parks. We've severed that bond now by so many people walking away from their brand. It would take 2 to 3 years to produce new movies or animation aimed at recapturing the magic and recapturing their audience, even if Disney realized what it had done and put the brakes on hard right now. The damage is done. Meanwhile, Universal will be eating their lunch and kicking sand in their faces. So Disney could go the way of Sports Illustrated. Probably not in the same meteoric explosion of a total shutdown like SI, but Disney will have to cannibalize itself to survive. Piece by piece, brand by brand, they will be forced to sell off or shutter portions of the company. Disney used to spend millions and millions of dollars trying to understand its customers, determine their wants and their needs and their habits. For the better part of the last decade, Disney has, just as Sports Illustrated did, moved from understanding their customers to provide them with products and experiences they wanted and were willing to pay for, to forcing upon them products based on ideology, not demand. And that is the sad connection between SI and Disney. Anyway, that's what I think. Let me know what you think in the comments below. I do enjoy reading them and I try to respond to them all. That's all for now. I'll be back real soon with another video. You take care. Bye for now.